What's most important to you when buying windows, siding, or doors? Is it energy savings, cost, quality, or warranty? Window World offers it all by searching Window World today.
This is the WHKY News. I'm Ralph Mangum, and it's time now for our weekly review of some of the top crime stories we had for you during the week of July 29th through August 2nd. Here we go. In today's top stories, at about 2 a.m. Sunday, the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office responded to a call regarding a deceased subject on the side of Highway 321 north of Lenore. The male subject was deceased from an apparent gunshot wound. Authorities say the man appears to be in his 40s. Investigators responded to the scene and conducted a crime scene investigation. The deceased has been identified as a subject from Charlotte. The case is related to a car fire that Charlotte Mecklenburg police are currently investigating. The sheriff's office has not released the name of the decedent. The investigation is ongoing. WHKY's Ariana Mack has information on a sentencing in a 2022 Hickory murder case.
A Catawba County man received a minimum 10-year sentence in a murder case. 25-year-old Devon Lavelle Williams of Claremont has entered a guilty plea to second-degree murder in the 2022 shooting death of 23-year-old Ontario Namir Metz of Hickory. Williams entered the plea during a recent session of Catawba County Superior Court. Williams was originally charged with first-degree murder. Williams was sentenced to between 10 years and 4 months to 13 years and 5 months in prison. He was given credit for more than 2 years' time served in the Catawba County Detention Facility. On March 20th, 2022, Hickory police responded to a report of gunshots at Sun Valley Apartments on 3rd Avenue Southeast. Officers found Metz lying on the ground outside an apartment. Metz was shot multiple times and died at the scene. I'm Ariana Mack, reporting for WHKY.
Thank you, Ariana. A plea agreement that was in place for a man accused of murdering his parents and his brother and then burning the family's home to conceal the crime has fallen through. WHKY's Rob Eastwood has the details.
That plea agreement falling through is the result of the defendant asking an Iredell County Superior Court judge to dismiss one of his attorneys and appoint new counsel. According to IredellFreeNews.com, 24-year-old Corey Alexander Cook made the surprise request during a hearing in which he was expected to plead guilty. Cook was supposed to plead to 3 counts of second-degree murder, 1 count of first-degree arson, and 17 counts of identity theft. As part of a plea agreement, prosecutors were set to reduce the charges from first-degree murder and recommend a 75-year prison sentence in exchange for the guilty pleas. Cook, who is being held in the Iredell County Detention Center, participated in the hearing via video conference. He is charged with killing his parents, 60-year-old Johnny Cook and 51-year-old Angela Cook, and his brother, 27-year-old Lawrence Cook, on July 27th of 2021, as we previously reported here on WHKY. All 3 victims were shot and had their throats cut. Cook reportedly used his parents' and brother's financial transaction cards to purchase gift cards to pay off someone who was extorting him online. First responders found their bodies in the family home at 109 Lorem Drive near Troutman after firefighters extinguished a fire. According to the Iredell County Sheriff's Office, during questioning with investigators, Cook made statements incriminating himself in the murders and arson. Last Thursday, as Judge Joe Crosswhite was asking the defendant procedural questions about whether he understood the charges and possible defenses, Cook unfolded a sheet of paper and apologized for throwing, quote, a bit of chaos into the court proceedings. He then read a statement explaining he had lost confidence in his court-appointed attorney, Mark Davis, and also complained that he had not had an opportunity to review all of the evidence against him. At the conclusion of Thursday's hearing, an assistant district attorney informed Cook and his attorneys that he was withdrawing every aspect of the plea offer. The state will now seek the death penalty, according to the ADA. The ADA indicated he would ask the judge to set a trial date in December. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob East.
A Lenore man is charged with larceny and speeding to elude arrest. 38-year-old Samuel Zane Billings of Lenore was arrested on Friday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with felony counts of larceny, larceny after breaking and entering, speeding to elude arrest, breaking and entering, and possession of stolen property. Billings was jailed under $77,500 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. He is scheduled to appear in district court on Monday, July 29th. A Conover man has been arrested in Caldwell County for indecent exposure. 62-year-old Gary Thomas Wilson of 8th Avenue in Conover was arrested on Saturday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with one felony count, indecent exposure of a person 16 years old or younger. Wilson was jailed under $50,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. He was scheduled to appear on July 29th.
A Nebo woman faces break-in and assault charges filed in Catawba County. 52-year-old Victoria Rubon Wilkerson of Jack Corpening Road in Nebo was arrested by authorities in Catawba County. She's charged with breaking and entering with intent to terrorize or injure and assault with a deadly weapon. Wilkerson was incarcerated Monday in the Catawba County Detention Facility without bond as she awaited a Monday district court date.
The suspect in this case was recently released from prison, where he served a decade for similar charges to the ones he's facing in this case. The suspect was charged after a break-in at a local business here in Statesville. Cash registers were stolen during that break-in. The suspect was apprehended following a short foot pursuit and was brought to the Iredell County Detention Center. He has a court date scheduled in August. 59-year-old Michael Todd Cromwell of Statesville was arrested Sunday by Statesville police. He's charged with felony counts of breaking and entering, larceny after breaking and entering, and possession of burglary tools. He's also charged with misdemeanor counts of injury to real property and resisting a public officer. At approximately 2 a.m. Sunday, the Statesville Police Department responded to a break-in alarm at O'Reilly Auto Parts on North Center Street. Upon arrival, officers discovered the store had been broken into and cash registers were missing. While officers were heading to the scene, a patrol officer saw a suspect attempting to hide behind a nearby residence. The officer approached the suspect, who then fled on foot after a brief pursuit. The suspect was apprehended and identified as Michael Todd Cromwell. Cromwell was found in possession of burglary tools and was positively identified as the individual responsible for the break-in at O'Reilly. The stolen cash registers were also recovered at the scene. Cromwell was interviewed by investigators here at the Statesville Police Department and is believed to be involved in several other recent break-ins in the area in recent months. Cromwell was initially placed in the Iredell County Detention Center without bond. Bond has since been set at $50,000 secured. A district court date is scheduled for August 19th. Cromwell has an extensive history of commercial breaking and entering offenses, tampering with coin-operated machines, and possession of burglary tools, with offenses dating back to 1986. He was released from prison on February 6th of 2023 after serving 10 years in prison for similar offenses. The investigation into this incident is continuing. More charges against the suspect are possible. Reporting from the Statesville Police Department, I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News.
29-year-old Martavius LeVar Smith of Indian Paintbrush Drive in Mooresville and a 31-year-old Shalisa Monet Lowe of Knox Avenue in Statesville have been arrested by Iredell County Sheriff's deputies. They were both charged with felony intentional child abuse causing serious bodily injury. On July 23rd, deputies responded to an address on Powderhorn Road north of Mooresville to assist with a welfare check on a 10-month-old child. The infant's family contacted the sheriff's office when they noticed bruises and other unexplained markings on the child's body. When deputies and Iredell County EMS personnel arrived on the scene, they saw several bruises and injuries to the child. The infant was transported to Iredell Memorial Hospital, where medical staff determined the injuries were consistent with physical abuse. The child was then transferred to Brenner's Children's Hospital for further evaluation. Detectives conducted several interviews with witnesses and family members and collected evidence from medical evaluations conducted at both hospitals. Medical personnel at Brenner's Children's Hospital determined that the injuries were caused by intentional physical abuse. Some of the injuries were consistent with cigarette lighter burns and bite marks. As a result of evidence collected during the investigation and statements made by the victim's parents, both suspects were charged and arrested. Smith and Lowe were taken into custody on July 27th. They were placed in the Iredell County Detention Center with bond for Smith set at $100,000 secured, while Lowe was given an $80,000 secured bond. They will both appear in district court on August 19th. The Sheriff's Office and the Iredell County Department of Social Services are conducting an ongoing investigation. WHKY's Ariana Mack has 3 arrests, courtesy of the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office.
A Hudson man is charged with breaking and entering and larceny. 35-year-old Calvin Smith Jones of Hudson was arrested on Monday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with 3 felonies: breaking and entering, larceny after breaking and entering, and possession of stolen property. Jones was also charged with a misdemeanor probation violation. He was jailed under $60,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court date was scheduled for July 31st.
The suspect in this case was the head of the Child Development Center at a local church here in Alexander County. She is charged with embezzling from that house of worship. The suspect was arrested earlier this week and was later released on bond. She is scheduled to appear in court in August. 57-year-old Carol Coker Gomez of Stony Point was arrested on Monday by Taylorsville police. She is charged with felony larceny by employee. Coker is charged with allegedly embezzling funds from a local church. She served as the director of the Taylorsville First Baptist Church Child Development Center. She resigned her position after concerns regarding funds emerged. Those concerns led to an investigation. According to our news partner, WACB, First Baptist pastor Scott Henson declined comment when he was contacted. He did say, quote, "This is now a police matter." Gomez was released from custody after posting a secured bond of $25,000. She is scheduled to appear in Alexander County District Court on August 5th. And reporting from Alexander County, I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News. A Morganton woman arrested earlier this week here in Burke County is charged with multiple felonies on an out-of-county warrant. Those charges include exploitation. The suspect was not listed as an inmate here in Burke County as of the time I'm filing this report. 32-year-old Shanika Thomas of Clark Loop in Morganton was arrested Tuesday by Morganton Public Safety. She was arrested on an out-of-county warrant from McDowell County. She's charged with felony counts of exploitation of a disabled or elderly person and obtaining property by false pretense. Thomas was arrested on those felony charges shortly before 2 a.m. Tuesday at an address on Berkmont Avenue in Morganton. As of the time I'm filing this report, she was not listed as an inmate in Burke County. 36-year-old Jessica Ann Mitchell and 28-year-old Sierra Devon Westbrook, both of Marion, were arrested Friday by Morganton Public Safety. Both suspects were charged with felony possession of Schedule II controlled substance. Westbrook is also charged with 3 counts of failure to appear for failure to comply. Both suspects were arrested last Friday morning at an address on Berkmont Avenue in Morganton. A public safety officer was responding to assist other officers with a welfare check and found the 2 suspects in a vehicle. They are both scheduled to appear in district court on August 19th. The next suspect is a Burke County resident who was arrested earlier this week on drug charges. 35-year-old William Alexander Conley of Branch Street in Morganton was arrested Monday by Morganton Public Safety. He's charged with felony counts of possession of Schedule II controlled substance, possession of cocaine, and possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver Schedule II controlled substance, along with a misdemeanor count of resisting an officer. Conley was arrested at approximately 11 p.m. Monday and was placed in the Burke County Jail, where bond was set at $75,000 secured. As of the time I'm filing this report, he is not listed as an inmate here in Burke County. A district court date was scheduled on Tuesday.
55-year-old Scotty Allen Travis of Kemp Street in Claremont was arrested Monday by Catawba County Sheriff's officers. He's charged with traffic in methamphetamine. Travis was incarcerated in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $500,000 bond. A district court date was scheduled for July 30th. Reporting for WHKY.
37-year-old Brandon Lee White of 11th Street Southwest in Hickory was arrested by Hickory police at 11:45 last Thursday morning on felony counts of breaking and entering a building, larceny of a dog, possession of stolen goods, and speeding to elude arrest, with 2 aggravating factors, along with a misdemeanor count of domestic criminal trespass. He also faces charges for speeding, DWI, and aggressive driving. White was taken into custody at Fry Regional Medical Center. He was processed at HPD, where he was not fingerprinted due to his injuries. White was taken to the Catawba County Detention Facility, where he was initially held without bond due to the domestic nature of the charges against him. He is no longer listed as an inmate in Catawba County. A first appearance in district court was scheduled last Friday, with additional appearances coming up on August 5th and 15th and on September 13th, all in Newton.
A woman was arrested for possession of Schedule II controlled substance. 38-year-old Jessica Marie McMahon of Circle Street in Lenoir was arrested on Tuesday by probation and parole officers. She was charged with 3 felonies: probation violation, trafficking in heroin or opium, and possession of Schedule II controlled substance. McMahon was jailed under $45,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A Superior Court date was scheduled for August 5th. A Granite Falls man was arrested for assault and firearm possession. 34-year-old Kevin Lee Hill of Goldfinch Court in Granite Falls was arrested on Tuesday by Lenoir police officers. He was charged with 1 felony count, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Hill was also charged with misdemeanor counts of assault by pointing a gun, injury to personal property, and discharge of a firearm violating a local ordinance. He was jailed under $40,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A district court appearance is scheduled for August 15th. And a Lenoir woman charged with trafficking in heroin or opium. 21-year-old Alicia Ann Bolick of Rattlesnake Lane in Lenoir was arrested on Tuesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. She was charged with felony counts of trafficking in heroin or opium and possession of methamphetamine. Bolick was jailed under $25,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. She is scheduled to appear in district court on August 15th. She is scheduled to appear in district court on August 15th. I'm Ariana Mack for WHKY.
A Hickory man faces sexual exploitation charges. The suspect was arrested earlier this week and placed in the Catawba County Detention Facility here in Newton. He will appear in a courtroom in the building just behind me in August. 48-year-old Jose Manuel Vega Gonzalez of 2nd Avenue Southeast in Hickory was arrested Wednesday by Hickory police. He's charged with 2nd-degree sexual exploitation of a minor and 3rd-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. Vega Gonzalez was confined in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $25,000 bond. A district court date is set for August 5th. 37-year-old Ashley Elaine Pope of Deal Road in Claremont was arrested Wednesday by Alexander County Sheriff's officers. She's charged in Catawba County with felony possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver Schedule II controlled substance, along with misdemeanor counts of possession of drug paraphernalia and resisting a public officer. Pope was detained in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $50,000 bond. A Superior Court date is scheduled for August 5th. The next suspect is a Burke County resident who has been charged with drug offenses here in Catawba County. 33-year-old Nathaniel Lee Shin of Dickerson Court in Connolly Springs was arrested Tuesday by Hickory police. He's charged with possession of fentanyl, felony possession of Schedule II controlled substance, felony and misdemeanor probation violation, misdemeanor breaking and entering, and noise ordinance violation. Shin is on probation as a result of convictions in January of this year in Catawba County for felony possession of Schedule II controlled substance, along with misdemeanor counts of larceny and breaking and entering. He was jailed in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $27,700 bond. 28-year-old Israel Jonathan Wise of Pewitt Park Drive in Conover was arrested Wednesday by authorities in Catawba County. He's charged with felony attempted larceny. Wise was incarcerated in the Catawba County Detention Facility under $2,000 bond. A Superior Court date is set for August 19th.
51-year-old Nadine Chezik of Morganton has been charged with driving while impaired, damage to property, an open container violation, and failure to reduce speed. She was charged in connection with an incident at about 1:20 Wednesday morning when Morganton Public Safety responded to Reap Drive in reference to a single vehicle crash. Upon arrival, officers saw a car that had struck an unoccupied block building. The vehicle left the right side of the highway and traveled 394 feet, jumping a ditch, striking a guy wire, and coming to rest just inside the building. The driver was identified as Nadine Chezik, who admitted to consuming alcohol and taking medications. Officers reportedly saw open containers in the vehicle. Chezik was evaluated and transported to UNC Blue Ridge Health in Morganton for treatment of minor injuries. Chezik has a first appearance in district court scheduled for September 9th in Morganton. At last report, she remained in the hospital.
55-year-old Jennifer Elaine Rourke of Hickory was sentenced on Thursday to 30 months in prison, followed by 2 years of supervised release. She received the sentence for embezzling more than $2 million from clients of a law firm where she worked as a paralegal. The announcement was made on Thursday by Dina J. King, U.S. Attorney for the Western District of North Carolina. According to court documents and the sentencing hearing, from 2007 to 2021, Rourke, who is also known as Jennifer Claveria, was employed as an assistant and a paralegal for a law firm in Hickory. The law firm handled, among other things, the administration and management of trusts for clients, including the trust's bank accounts. As part of her duties, Rourke was responsible for opening mail, depositing checks into trust bank accounts, and processing invoices. Court records show that from 2015 to September of 2021, Rourke executed the embezzlement scheme when at least 190 fraudulent and unauthorized bank wires totaling more than $2 million went from the law firm's clients' trust bank accounts to bank accounts controlled by Rourke. She used the embezzled funds to pay for personal items, make mortgage, car, and credit card payments, and to fund an extravagant lifestyle. As we previously reported here on WHKY, last December 1st, Rourke pleaded guilty to wire fraud. She is released on bond and will be ordered to report to the Federal Bureau of Prisons upon designation of a federal facility. So once again, a 30-month prison sentence for Jennifer Elaine Rourke in this embezzlement case. Reporting from Catawba County, I'm Rob Eastwood, WHKY News. According to a published report from Iredell Free News, 32-year-old Sean Michael Bach of Mooresville entered an Alford plea in Iredell County Superior Court in July to second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor and indecent liberties with a student. He received a suspended prison sentence and supervised probation. In an Alford plea, a defendant maintains his innocence while agreeing that there is sufficient evidence to be found guilty. Under the terms of the plea agreement, Judge Joseph Crosswhite imposed a suspended sentence of 20 to 36 months in prison. Bach will be on supervised probation for 36 months and must register as a sex offender. He was ordered to have no contact with his two victims. The published report says Bach was working as an assistant principal at Cottle Creek Elementary School when he was arrested in early February of 2021 following an investigation by the Mooresville Police Department. He had worked for Iredell Statesville Schools for approximately 7 months. Assistant District Attorney Regina Mahoney prosecuted the case. Bach was represented by defense attorney Timothy Canaday. So once again, a suspended sentence and supervised probation for Sean Michael Bach of Mooresville after he entered an Alford plea in Iredell County Superior Court in July. Reporting for WHKY News, I'm Rob Eastwood.
Several people who were illegally on a Burke County property have been removed by police. On Thursday, the Valdez Police and Burke County Sheriff's officers received information regarding multiple persons squatting, trespassing, or living at 1403 Carolina Street, just outside the Valdez city limits, without authorization from the owner. In addition to trespassing, there were multiple reports and complaints regarding suspicious activities at the residence, including but not limited to drug use, overdoses, and the larceny of property in the surrounding area. Officers responded to the residence after the property owner signed a no trespassing agreement requesting all unauthorized parties to be removed. Police vacated the property and posted a no trespassing sign. Several people were removed from the premises. Burke County deputies and Valdez Police will periodically check the property. Anyone found on the premises without authorization will be arrested for trespassing and/or breaking and entering. Here now is WHKY's Ariana Mack with 2 Caldwell County arrests, including one suspect jailed under a $250,000 bond.
A Lenore man is charged with indecent liberties with a child. 58-year-old Raymond Edward Harmon of Hollywood Ridge Road in Lenore was arrested on Wednesday by Caldwell County Sheriff's officers. He was charged with 1 felony count, indecent liberties with a child. He was jailed under $250,000 secured bond in the Caldwell County Detention Center. A Superior Court date was scheduled for September 9th.
And that's a look back at some of the crime stories we had for you during the previous week, July 29th through August 2nd. You can find this weekly recap every Saturday at WHKY.com and on our YouTube channel. I'm Ralph Mangum. Thank you all for watching the WHKY News.